short talk with Patimukha. Today I'm going to mention a little bit about the Patimukha ways of life in monastic. In all the roles that written down to form the Vinaya, there are two roles that been covered in all this writing. So the first is major role, and the second one is minor role. Just something that in the number one, Palajika, that is the one that any monk who broke this rule is back home, not allowed to be the monastic Sangha member anymore. And 2, 3, 4, 5 to 8, this one is called you need to do some repent after the confessing, sometimes to a group, sometimes it's minor, then to one person of the monastic elder, then back to your pure practice in order no regret, no shameful facing to the community, then you are okay to go. That is not like the law that have any punishment to you, not in that purpose, but in the goals of you have no any obstacle to move on from the past to liberation. That is the purpose. So in all this role that we don't have any punishment is serious, like you are the evil guy, not like that. But it's inner from psychology attitude. The Buddha is very concerned. You don't have anything that be fed so that you can move on to cultivate your mind state in order you come to the goal. So here is something that I don't mention all this role because not much according to your need, and then some of them is cannot tell you. If I tell you right now, I will be need to have confess. Okay. Some of them monastic, even though the novice don't read the Vinayas of the monk, okay? If you read that, you will be the top. Don't read until you already become monk. Okay? That is something that they have a lot of reason there. You will know it. Buddha says something and tell the monk tell something that you need to follow. They always have the reason there. They don't have something that being questioned and no answer. That is not in our religion. Here is something that I will be more concerned. Vinaya support to achievement of jhana state. This is something that very common we can share together. In Buddhism, that especially in the Mahayana Chinese translation, we have one book that in the academic, we always study that. That's called the last word of the Buddha. So mention about how important this 42 chapter need to be remembered. So in the 42 chapter mentioned before the Buddha Pali Nibbana, so in his 3-month travel back to his old town, all this when he already been preaching or any others condition going on during his life. So he back to that and then he said a lot of things before he passed away. So in this 3 months travel and correct it so that to make the important point that's we call that Pali Nibbana Sutra. In Chinese we say the last word of the Buddha, they mentioned. So here is I quote 4 of them. This is something that we call that not the very important role, but the important role come to minor role. That's a cover. This 4 point is something that who is considered he want to practice and achieve into jhana need to be very skillful to use it into practice. So that the first one is called that exaltation on the control of mind and body. Actually, it's senses contact. So that we in the society, you will always hear this. He hurt my feeling. You see, I'm been hurt because of my feeling. Tell me, I'm being hurt. You know. But in Buddhism, that if you need to avoid that kind of trouble, emotional rise, up and down, so that you need to retreat one more step at the back. So come to contact and no discrimination in the contact. Only contact, mindful in contact. Don't let it discrimination and analyze. So if the mind that you analyze something, then it will be, you make your own conclusion. Then rising feeling. So if the mind only stops in contact, because contact is always there, very, very busy. No 1 second you can you cannot mindful in contact. So the contact is 5 senses contact to the world, and then you need to contact to the consciousness too. So if you train mindful contact, it's always busy there. You don't have time to feel it. Just contact is enough to busy. So my life is that kind of lifestyle. I retreat to contact, not let them process into feeling. So I ignore me to feeling something and make judge. I don't want to go there, too far. See? No matter what you feel, it's not come to the point. See? It's not benefit to yourself. Especially in the monastic monkhood. We concern is our experience. We need to go profoundly deeper than the lay life or the worldly experience. That is something that has not been found by worldly personality. We need to experience that direct knowledge deeper. So the first one is that, and then the second one is exaltations of, how to moderate use of food. You see, I say something very true. Like me, my bad habit is after martial art, they have a lot of martial art experience and that kind of behavior. And easy in the contact, it pop out, become your ego to make judge. You see? Like I watch TV, when I watch something that military or any fight, oh, the judging mind is come from there. Because my base is there. So that I told the young novice right now, you know, be careful, you are musician. You see? In the field of music, when something comes to the ear, your contact is moved to feeling. And I told a cow, you are cook. You see, you need to be there when you contact your food. You see, I make an example because I keep myself silent. So, in his cooking, the second day, in the morning, I go to the kitchen and look for one piece of bread to give at the level in the door. And then I saw the make hamburger, the kind of bread. He just brought and said, oh, this one need to offer to monastic and practitioner before to the dog. So then I looked and I go left over and I saw one pack at the back. And I go and pick up. I said, can I have this one piece to Atalapa? So he will be happy and go away from the dog. Okay. But take it. It's not for human animal. Take it, junk food. I just keep myself silent. He is someone that I'm very concerned is because of a top cook. Always look for quality. Me, I'm a monk. Good quality, I accept. Bad quality, if this is only you have, and honestly offering to the monk, even though the worst food, if you can eat it, I can eat it. Food for me is only support the string of life, carry on to practice. Only this purpose, no other else. So from there on, I'm very painful because back to Malaysia, my presentation to my teacher's temple is 20 years dream in America. I came to this country right now 20 years. So I'm back there and give a talk. So do some research and research to the food. 60% of the food wasted in this country. It's really painful. It's really painful. People don't see the food as food. He just see the food as desire. You see, when fishing to the food, he don't have the mind of how this knowledge can bring to the body and then benefit to the body and to do something. That's not that anymore. Yes.
And many children in this country go to bed hungry.
Yes, there's a lot of things happen. Yeah. If you want to do a research paper, maybe go that big. The research paper. Yeah. So here is something that we need to really concern as a Buddhist. If you learn Buddhist as a teacher, okay, you don't have to give lots of knowledge for them, but very practical. Let them make little bit change, little bit concern. You see, that's very important. So the third one is on sleeping. I already told, and I told the young monk, from the day on I become monk, I learned that how to sleep better. And when I come to this country, I with my teacher Ren Chin in the Bodhi monastery 20 years ago, that I learned from him is one sleep in the night. Whenever I go sleep, I just sleep very deep. And then whenever it's the first thought of wake up, then there's no more sleep. Yeah. So until now, I found that the body is really need to relax. It just relax very deep and unconscious. Other than that, the mind is not going to sleep anymore. It's very excited to work with his consciousness. So that is called dreaming. So even though the body is still relaxed, the mind is dreaming. So the early night and the late night, monk no sleep. He only sleep for midnight. So early night, you need to do some contemplation or concentration before you go sleep. So clear your mind, or maybe you do some reflection. Am I doing good? This how many things that I'm doing in good in this day today, or how many things I make mistake in the night. Did I say anything excuse, or am I already confessed? See, so that before you sleep. So wake up, then you need to immediately do the practice. So I already told how I relate my practice into 4 foundations of mindfulness back to the practice. See? So this is called on sleep. We shorten the time because we look for liberation. Something is here. 5 aggregate early night and the late night, very strong to bother the mind. Stronger than in the usual time. It's 5 hindrances. So these 5 hindrances for us, we have more profound than what you know. Because you're facing in different time, that different condition just not being covered, then in that condition, it becomes obstacle. The hindrances become obstacles. So that I can name a little bit. Worry about the country, worry about the family. They have rise up men and women's, desire. It will rise up something that I don't want to be died. If you have sick, that I may have a long life. That kind of pop up. That kind of ego very strong. You see, it's just name it 5 hindrances. If the day I already purified, when I sit meditate, practice, meditate this and that, it's okay, but might be the early night and the late night, it's not being covered. It's still lit there. Yeah. So here is something that keep daily living in a state of constant attention. In the Sep8 Sutra, they always say that whenever you wash your teeth, you do this, you do that, you stand, you walk, you lying down, always do it like this, to be mindful. So if you want to do it with mindful, in my experience, the better way is no communication. Just do some work. So kitchen guy easy to be enlightened, but not the office manager. CEO is very worse in liberation. So you need to touch his mind in order you can communicate with him. So a lot of thinking mind going on. That is not good for training. So here is something that keep daily living. I prefer when someone comes and have more people share with the education. Let me go to farm. I can support everything. I can work very hard until I cannot wake up anymore. No problem. But I don't like to talk too much. Yeah. Talk just the condition, the whole consciousness active. You know that they are purify our mind, verbal, and body. Body is very rushed. You know, when the word is more fine, and the more very detailed fine formation is the mind. So here is, I want to say one story. This story is very touching to me. They call it a wine story. This is what we call that in Buddhism. The Buddha, when someone asks him or any other concern, then he keep a talk. Only that he have very deep feeling that no one asks, he give message. Not being condition of asking and he keep message. This is the story that not been asking and he stopped there. And then, Ananda, do you see this tree? And I said, yes, sir. It's called wine tree. Do you know what wine tree means? And I said, oh, wine tree is this wine, you know, it slowly climb up to the tree, and then you roll the tree, years after years, and then the tree destruction, and then this wine take place, become the tree. So we call that wine tree. He said, it is true, Ananda. You know it exactly what it is. He said, all living being is the same. The greedy is like a wine. So the greedy cover this body and mind. And then the body and mind is not show anymore, only show the greedy. You see, so deep. Okay. So he said that whenever we want to get rid of this wine, you need to be very concerned into practice. So practice to meditation is the first step. You move into your mind and see the sign of mind. Normal people cannot see the sign of mind because like this. In the past, we walk, we see the truth. Someone is in 1 mile away, see the destination. Someone is maybe 300 meter or 200 meter. The one who see the goal very clear is who just then access. Just one more step to the goal, then you will see this as what they are. So the Buddha said that practice meditation is someone already come to access or already enter into that step, then you know what it is. See? So Vinaya is something that become the base. You enter into the jhana. If in the daily life you don't discover or don't cultivate of this kind, at least this kind of Vinaya basic, then there is nowhere you can enter into jhana state. So this one we call that corruption. If you don't overcome corruption, you will not come to the goal. No matter how diligent, how much effort and time you put it in, it is nowhere to go. Nowhere to go to. Yeah. So someone they just, oh, I want to learn this skill from you, I want to learn that from me. That is only a concept. That's only a guideline of skill. It not work. You need to pull out all this weed before you can put the seed. I give you the seed. I give you fertilizer. It not work. You need to pull out the weed first before you can have the condition for that. Okay, so remember, here is something we need to come. No? Need to go one more. Remove cup and then go one more. Sorry, I'm not in high-tech training. Posata. We run by Posata. Posata means the meeting, conference, or the ceremony. You see, in the monk life, we have something that very particular or very different. Then we attach this called monkhood. It's different from the lay life. So in Padimukha, or we call it Padimuksa, we cover two things that are not being covered by the lay practitioner. The first one is called repent or confess. I don't know much about Christian, but they have a room inside. I listen to your confess and say, oh, you can confess. But in our monastic, it's not like that. Confess should be all the members of monk need to do to support each other. Every month have 2 times, full moon and half moon. You need to do the confession before you listen to the reciting of the Padimukha, to refer back all this role that been broke by the monk in the past, so that you don't involve it again, in order you can have a very pure life. You see? So confess is not confess to the Buddha. I remember when I was in Thailand, it's like this. We do the confess to each other. After the confession, then we go to Uposatha, means the precept hall. Listen to the Vinaya. So we have a role principle that how to do this. In the lay life, my father and mother, they have some moral role, but they don't have confess role. So father and mother, sometimes mother complains father. Father has something that not satisfied with mother. Brother, sister, they all have something going on, stuck in the mind. No way out. But the monastic life is not like that. 15 days, after 15 days, you need to get out from that trouble in order you can move faster to the path. This is a thing. See? So that is know that I am the master of the temple. I become the chief monk so that you confess me. No, chief monk come to the hall is the same. We need to confess to each other, support each other like that. It come to the hall that is equal, not in your authorities of serving. See? You're pure or you need to confess. So confess is not something that you break your face. It's something that you show your honors to the practice, you know, so that you can move forward. It's no shameful and regret after this. And then after confess, no matter what kind of story we tell, just stop it here. When you step out of the uposatha, no rumor, no gossiping anymore. So it makes your mouth, your verbal more purifying, so that the confession is very important for the monastic life who really want to move forward. What I'm seeing is any of the temple they have that kind of going on. They have not much, you know, that one we call the quarrel, fight, and all kind of discipline going on. They want more harmony. And which temple or monastery they don't take it serious, lots of problems. Same as the normal common life. Lots of things going on. So this is a different. So here is a lay practitioner. Lay practitioner that according to the Vinaya, you only have 5 precepts and no confession been set up. I don't know why the Buddha time know this set up, because the Buddha himself, according to the Indian culture, a lot of things is already habit, like confession, like this kind of monastic role that they adopt from the culture. Because you don't adopt the culture, other religion will blame you. So the Buddha adopt it and turn it into more beneficial to liberation. So he didn't have enough time to concern about lay life. So lay life practice only 8 precepts. Certain day you come to the temple and join them, learn the spiritual of monasticism. So they call that 8 precepts. So 8 precepts is something that you have a lot of restraint. Yeah, like only 2 precepts less than the novice. So you have more restrained life to learn when you are in the monastery. So in the old days, 1 month you have 4 days at least stay in the monastery and practice like a monk, female or male, so that you will know how the spiritual journey will go more profoundly, more silently, more serenity in your mind state. This is how the Padimosa going on. So the confession part in the lay life we don't have, but in Chinese Buddhism, they found another way to go that is called confession ceremony. Next talk, if available, I will quote something from the confession ceremony as a lay life how they practice to you. That is very important. If you don't confession practice, then you gossiping a lot. Gossiping is no good. Gossiping is bring I and him opposition to each other. If you have something opposition in your mind that discriminating into the living being, you will not get lead to liberation. That is not good for practice. Okay? Rumor come to your ear, stuck in your heart. Purify it. Don't let it go anymore. If you're concerned about the safety and no harm the world. I will stop it here now. My part will be finished. It's not how much, but the important thing, good for your practice. Please be concerned and remember it. Thank you.